£225,000. Alright, so today we are going to see the property that I just bought in Commercial Road, and we're going to take the keys off the seller's agent and we get to work with it. We'll see any refurbishment, light work needed. As far as I saw last time, there wasn't much work needed. Just needs good decorations and new furniture, but it might need some paint and a few other things. Let's go and check it out. Let's go. We made the deal happen. We secured it £48,000 below the asking price. That's nearly 20% below the asking price. That's how we make the deals happen. Let's go and see what's in store for us, and if the property is how we left it, which of course it will be. So we're going to do a full rundown with you today. Deal done. I'm going to do a full deal analysis. I'm going to run the numbers and the real numbers and work out the real ROI on my money. Let's go in and have a look. In the last video, I showed you this high yielding potential property, right? And the asking price was £280,000. Originally, they were saying 290. Then they were being quite flexible, 280. But what I've done after analyzing and really making action happen behind the scenes and speaking to the seller and the seller's agent and the seller's lawyers and the seller's surveyors and everyone involved, and making sure I am being diplomatic with my pricing, and I'm targeting the yield that I've put in place. So I don't go above the price that I've got in my mind as a target yield. So in this case, my target was to offer £225,000 for the property. But my max price that I was willing to go to was £245,000, and so I made the offer at £225,000. And after a lot of back and forth, we agreed at £232,000, which is in the sweet spot of my ideal price and the ideal yield. So let's go and have a look at the property and see the condition of it, if anything has changed since we last been here. Right, let's go in and have a look. Fantastic. All right, here we are. A couple weeks later. So the window is still here and the walls are still here. Nothing's missing. Okay, it is as we saw it before. Fantastic. Smells fresh. Okay. So it's already got blinds, which is a bonus. I actually didn't see that last time. All right, fantastic. So they wanted, well, originally they were asking for 290,000, which I thought was way too high. And I'm honest with you, my peoples, that's why I told you 280,000. So originally 290 they wanted when I first spoke to them, but then they said it's okay, it's possible at 280,000. And then I analyzed the deal. I came to see it. I've done all the compliance and the checks and the investigations and done the stress test on it, the maximum value possible at the lowest value. If the market goes down 10%, what happens? Do we still make money on it? After all those calculations, my target was to stay below £245,000 for this property, considering also the service charges is quite high in the property. It's above £3,000 a year, which is quite high. So I have to take that into consideration in my yield calculation. My target for this property yield, I'm talking about only about the yield numbers now. I have to stay below 245,000 because the average I estimated I'm going to be able to rent it out for about £30,000 a year. Okay. Now, if I take away £3,000 for service charges, we're at £27,000. At £27,000, I had to stay below 245,000. Now, I've agreed it and I've closed it and I've signed it on £232,000, which I believe and I know is a fantastic deal. You won't get much better deals than this one. So at £232,000, the yield is a whopping 11.6%. Okay? And that's after the £3,000 charge. So 11.6% yield in the heart of East London is a fantastic return. So we're looking at a cash flowing property. Now I've got multiple strategies I can use to even maximize on that. £2,500 a month rent for this property is fantastic. And the numbers that I just gave you now, based on the rent of £30,000 a year, is only on a market rate value of renting this as a single unit, as a 2-bedroom apartment. But I have not even told you about the potential other strategies I can use to increase this yield even more. For example, if I put it on Airbnb, I can potentially increase the yield from 11 to 13%, even 14%. If I put it as a shared property or HMO basis, rent it room by room, that will increase the yield to up to 13 or 14% again. So the scope for a higher yield and the scope for potential earning on this property is huge. And if you want to learn more how you can invest into properties like this, and you want to learn more about the different property strategies you can get into which suit your circumstances, let me know, follow, and I'll see you in the next video.